Greetings everyone and welcome back to Starship Theory, where in the last episode we actually went through a couple of fairly close fights, honestly. One, we managed to win a victory through using the environment, that is to say asteroids, and the other we managed to win by being completely ruthless and murdering the crew by shooting them with lasers until their blood boiled and their organs exploded, etc, etc. Death by laser is not going to be a nice death. You can forget all of the sci-fi stuff about it just cutting through people. No, death by laser is probably going to involve causing someone's blood to heat up to the point it just expands and rips open their arteries internally and all kinds of other grotesqueries. Let's be honest with ourselves. I committed them to rather horrific death, and I do feel quite bad about that. Let's hope that the next ship doesn't try to pick a fight with us, or I might be forced to do it again. At this rate, I might even grow to like it. I'll end up just killing people with lasers just to see what kind of faces they pull as they're just about to expire. That would be a terrible place to be. My goodness, I need a cup of tea. Anyway, we've got a ship inbound. Hopefully it's a peaceful trader. Are you a peaceful trader? They're not currently hostile. Fantastic. They heard about what I did to the last crew. And they were like, yeah, no, not today. Okay, can I sell you anything? I can sell you some water, which I don't really need. I can sell you some metal. I don't need that either. Okay, so we've got 408 and... ship I could threaten, but I'm not going to because I'm going to choose the higher road. Now, in the last episode, we have not yet got any new names for the crew because unfortunately I'm recording this one straight after the last one. But at the end of this episode, or rather right now, if you particularly want to, do be sure to leave us a comment with your name if you'd like any of the new crew members, the unnamed crew members, to be in with a chance of carrying your name. Once again, I choose names completely randomly. I just pop all of the comments with names into a random list on random.org and have it randomize it for me so that we get all of that good stuff very, very nice and easy and fairly more to the point. Now, engineering is doing quite a good job. We need a little bit more silicon to build another CPU, but honestly, we're actually doing quite well for power. There's quite a lot of things that I'm fairly happy with here. One thing I wouldn't mind doing though is getting another heat vent just over on this. Well, actually, you know what? I could easily have like two heat vents, one there, one there, and have a fourth one. A fourth one down there. That would actually give us a lot of heat dissipation. We'd be in a pretty good way for combat, even with all of these weapons that we've got built up at the moment. I would like that a lot. Okay, well, we're also starting to reach a bit of an issue with our storage, though. Might need to look into a solution for that. The solution is probably going to involve cargo crates rather than cargo hatches, if I'm perfectly honest. A little bit of silicon there, fantastic. That is now enough, actually, to build the CPU. So, time for another CPU array, and that's going to give us a very, very good position. Could you make sure to repair everything that needs to be repaired as a higher priority than building new things? Thank you. I could do that with alerts, but I would rather not have the siren, or rather the klaxon going. So I'll just prioritize that work over other work. Okay, this is actually a bit of a nasty little asteroid field here. It's quite a lot of potentially bad asteroids. Given that we have now increased our combat capabilities significantly, I wouldn't mind expanding our mining abilities a little bit more. So the next couple of upgrades will probably be mining lasers, I'm thinking. At least two more, I would say. We need that water, unfortunately, because I sold a bunch recently. That being said, our cargo isn't looking... Well, actually, yeah, it is looking quite bad. We've got a really, really full cargo on metal right now. We need to sort that out. Yeah, no more gathering for now. We need probably to drop down one cargo hatch or two on the outside. Though this, I could pop that in there for now as a temporary measure. Wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing I could do. That being said... How about we move some things around, eh? I think we might be able to set something up a little bit better. If I move these down and remove these two, I should If I remove that, I'll wait for one to be built before I remove the second one. Let's get all of this working. There we go. We've got our medium engines actually. So let's go ahead and get that set up. And then we can go back to working on defenses. Now, the medium engines, I'm hoping we can just apply over there if we want to. That'll give us quite a lot of oomph. And I'm looking forward to that quite a lot, actually. It does mean that we're probably going to leave this one. That being said, we could install the medium engine down here if we really wanted to. Have a little corridor going out behind it so that we could access it to run it if we wanted to give us that little bit more power. Because as you can see, we are not quite got enough to make a jump even if we wanted to, which is a bit of a concern. Got plenty of water, plenty of food. We need more cargo space, and that's something that we're going to have to try and get going soon. Let's go ahead and get all of this set up. Honestly, that isn't actually too bad. Are you going to be... No, you're not hostile. That's good. Actually, looking at things, let's cancel removing that and just leave that there for the time being. I'm not going to add a little walkway out there. Instead, we're just going to get all of that built up. Now, how much were these? Only 12. I think we should be able to just build 2 of them. Yes, we can. That's going to do a lot of good for our cargo situation right now. So I'm happy with that. Wait a second. Is that turned off? Turn it back on. There we go. Right. Okay. So what would you like to trade? We can sell quite a lot of gold to you, actually. I wouldn't mind that. Sure. I'm not going to buy another crew member because we've expanded our crew quite a lot recently. I don't think we need to expand it anymore just yet. Let's go for 2 new mining lasers, though. That is going to take us up to, well, a lot more silicon than we've got. We could buy 18. Sure, I'll buy the 18. That should allow me to at least get the 2 new mining lasers set up, I think. Oh, actually, that being said, how much do these cost? Oh, no, 12. So, yeah, we'll be able to get one of them built and a mining laser. Whichever one happens to be built first. In fact, you go ahead. Let's let this engine be the one that gets finished. Okay, with that then, let's go on to an asteroid and hopefully we're going to be able to get all of this set up fairly quickly. Let's make sure all of these are set up onto the same group. Glorious. We've got 12 cooling, which is very, very nice. We're up to defenses of 2, so we could get the hull brace, but I'm thinking that we don't need to grab that just yet. I think it would be better if we waited a little bit on that one and instead went for armor. I think the armor would be the better one to get right now. There we go. That's all set up and glorious. And we've got our asteroids. Fantastic. With 1 more mining laser than usual. There we go. Get all that silicon in. Honestly, if we can manage to get enough silicon to finish off all of the work. We've got the mining laser being built, so that's glorious. And in fact, the mining laser has been completed. So now, yeah, we've got 6 mining lasers from now on. Not all of them can reach everything, especially things that are on the sides. But overall, we should be able to punch through these large asteroids much, much faster now. Let's break that one down. Nothing there that we particularly want. Oh dear, this is going to be potentially very painful. No, actually, glorious. Okay, ship detected on long-range scanners. As far as our defenses go, we do need to work on that quite a lot, actually, but not too shabby so far. I'm looking forward to where we can take things. Not currently hostile. I almost wish they had been. We could... Is there anything we could sell here? No, there isn't really. I could buy a new crew member. Oh, all right then. Oh, actually, no. I can't, actually. No, I can't. I could threaten you for only 75. Hardly seems worth it, really. No, you get to live then. You're too small a fish to bully. Unless I run out of asteroids before you leave. In which case, there's a good chance that I will. But there we are. I saved you from asteroid death there, so you can thank me later. But no, I can't seem to get anything else gone, so I'm afraid it's time for us to see how all of this works. So let's go for their yeah, let's take out their ability to jump. Let's just wipe this out as fast as we can. Get rid of the navigations console completely. And in fact, let's just break through their hull if we can. And we might be able to do that at this rate. They're doing a fairly good job of keeping that from breaking. Let's make sure they can't jump, though. We've done a bit of damage to their ability to get out of here, but we need to do a little bit more. Let's get rid of that. Thank you. And we can probably break through that wall faster than they can repair it. And if we can manage to do that, we're just going to break that whole engine section off, I believe. So let's see how that works. Can you repair this in time? Or can we break it before you can? This is for science at this point. There we go. Really? That is annoying. That should not be providing any kind of benefit to you. But unfortunately, it is. And I feel that that is cheating myself. But okay. Let's see if we can dig through it. We're actually having trouble digging through. Go for the engine, please. I guess some don't reach that far. Oh, my plasma weapons were still hitting that engine. I was aiming at two different things. Okay, you are definitely frustrating me now, so let's quickly wipe you out. There we go. And go for you as well, if we can. Wow, the plasma weapons absolutely annihilate people. Feels almost like I'm cheating. There we go. And the final engineer should be gone in just a moment. There we are. Honestly, I could just... I think I need to get rid of their engines at this point, because if they have still got a positive evasion, they can jump. There we go. I don't think they're getting out of here now. We can take our time to wipe them out. Star detected ahead. That's fine. I could just get rid of their ability to get rid of any heat. And just leave them there, really, to slowly cook. That would be such a mean thing to do, though. I'm not sure I'm ready to be that evil. Who am I kidding? I totally am. But we didn't have to. The Star finished them off anyway. Sorry, our weapons managed to break their hull anyway. So technically we didn't cook them in their ship. It's a technicality, but I'm willing to accept it. Right. I would like... I could go for the medium armor boost straight away. It's a lot of metal, but it does really help. So if we just pop those down on the outside positions there. In fact, we can even go ahead and build this out a little bit more. Something like this, I'm thinking. Yeah. Something like that, perhaps? Because we could have quite a lot of armor just on that section there as a result. But I'm not quite taken with that design yet, though. I'm not sure on it. Let's instead have this, I think. Yeah, I prefer that one. I feel it has a bit of a nicer feel to it. There we go. And that should give us quite a lot of hull protection when we're actually being attacked. If we have a look at the actual numbers involved, it'll give us 50 extra armor hit points that they have to break through before they can do damage to hull. So in total, it basically doubles our hull strength. And we could, in fact, fit another one there if we really wanted to. Almost forgot that we were expecting an asteroid field. Never mind. We've now got enough mining capability to work our way through the asteroid fields fairly quickly. There we go. And with our current evasion, we should actually stand a fair chance of avoiding getting hit. Certainly when it comes to enemy weapons, we're going to have a good chance of avoiding being hit. There we are. Let's drill through all of this. Now, the only sad thing is that we can't expect our engines to be boosted by an engineer because they're external to the craft. So yeah, it's not going to be happening, which is a bit of a pain. It's a bit of a lost efficiency, but I don't think it's a huge negative, all things considered. Let's break through all of this. Not too bad. Ooh, quite a lot of gold there. Like that. And I'm gonna probably have to build some more storage very, very soon. Okay. Right, once these are built, I'm just going to allow people to repair things because right now we definitely do need these to be repaired. Let's prioritize all of those, please, because some of them are on their last legs. It looked like, yeah, the small engines are getting really low there. Very, very dangerous, honestly. Okay, so with all of that done, I think we can safely get rid of this engine at this point and start expanding out the ship in this direction. Which is something I'm quite happy to do. I really do like the look of this ship at this point. It looks very nice. They're powering up their weapons. And it's the same ship that we just fought, I'm fairly certain. I think they may have a vendetta. You know what then? Let's focus on breaking your airlocks. And then killing the engineers working on them. Or just killing the people stood somewhere. That will also work. Let's, yeah, just focus on all of these people. Should be able to wipe them out fairly quickly. Okay, now this airlock. Let's just stop them getting outside of the ship. I think is a pretty solid idea. And then we can just wipe out their weapon systems. There we go. It's going to take them time to build a new airlock. So whilst they're focusing on that, we'll get at least one of their guns down. And hopefully kill the other engineer as well. And if someone goes outside, we can always bust the airlock before they can get back inside. Oh, did we just lose something? We lost the CPU panel. How annoying. Oh, well. It shouldn't be too terribly bad. Let's go for this engineer while they're trying to effect repairs. Should be able to dig through and take them out, I'm hoping. Everyone stood on that tile, so it's getting a little bit harder to see. And there's the other engineer, though. And oh, there's another engineer rushing down to try and effect repairs. We should have wiped out all our engineers in just a moment. There we go, last engineer is gone. Now we can focus on just taking out their weapon systems. We shouldn't have too much to worry about at this point. CPU panel destroyed again? Oh, you scallywags. Let's get rid of these now that we're having to worry about them. There we are. And honestly, it wouldn't be too bad if we just leave the weapons working on that area, because eventually they'll just burrow through the ship because they've got no one repairing it anymore. Those asteroids could potentially be a bit nasty for us. Ooh, there we are, way too hot. Let's let things cool down a little bit. Do need to get rid of that one. That should be fine. There we go. And new crew. Hooray! Let's stop shooting at the potential new crew members. Could you stop shooting? Ah! That is gonna hurt. No, actually it's not. Fantastic. Okay, so new crew member making their merry old way over. I do like that you can get new crew now by blowing up enemy ships. That has really added a lot to the game, in my opinion. Getting the rewards from fighting, you don't always get them because sometimes they drift off in the wrong direction, but the crew members are fantastic rewards. I really approve of that. It does give you, unfortunately, it does give you a very strong reason just to attack other ships. Not that you need to attack traders, you can just wait for the traders to come to you, frankly. Or rather, the fighters to come to you. Right, so we've got Sylvia. You're actually not too bad at being an engineer, so yeah, crack on. Join the engineer corps and help me repair all the damage to the ship, please. Now, CPU is a bit of a problem from the fighting there. So, at this stage, I would say we want to start expanding quite aggressively back in this direction. We've got quite a lot of components though to do it, so it shouldn't be too hard. We could even have like large engines back here if we really wanted to, but I really would like to put down some crew quarters. I actually have some beds for people. I feel so bad that I never do. Defenses wise, we can definitely get the hull brace now, which is something I most certainly want. We are also going to want armor repairers. Not yet, though. Well, that being said, it would actually be very, very useful to have. I don't know. We'll see. But we definitely need to expand out down here quite drastically. We need more reactors and more CPU. A lot more CPU. In fact, it might be worth this. Switching over. Yes, let's go back to engineering so that we can get the medium reactor. I think that would be well worth the effort involved. If we can get the medium reactor set up, then what we could do is have large medium reactors down here. They're 2x2 and just 2 more CPU panels there and there. And then we could get rid of that reactor completely. That would actually help out quite a lot. Let's prioritize this work be done there, and then we're going to remove all of this work because otherwise it's going to be very possible that repairs aren't done in time, and that would be remarkably bad. Remarkably bad. Also, I would like to drop down some cargo hatches. We could have them on the outside. Probably should. Sure, let's get a couple of extra cargo hatches just so that we can store the enormous amounts of stuff that we're managing to mine. Though, that being said, we're actually very, very low on water. A little bit concerned. But it seems that we've got an asteroid field ahead, so I'm going to go ahead and get some mining done. I'll bring you back when there is something interesting to report. Okay. Currently, we have actually quite a reasonable amount of silicon. We still need a little bit more for the CPUs that I would like to build. Actually, I mean, we could build one there, but I think it would be better if if instead we had 2 medium reactors here, and then CPUs a little bit further down. Additionally, we are actually really, really close to being able to build a large reactor instead. Now, a large reactor is absolutely humongous and would take up all of this room, but if we have a look at it, we're almost at the amount of power that metal that we would need to make it. It generates 800 power. I think we may as well just go for this, honestly. It's a little bit of a deviation from my initial plan, but damn is it going to be better. We can have that sunk in fairly deep down here. In fact, if we do that, we could just close this little area off with a door. Yeah, I think that would actually be a little bit better, and we can have 2 heat sinks there and there at that point. Yeah, I think this is definitely a good idea. I wouldn't mind some better engines down here, honestly. Hello! What have you got for sale? I could sell some gold. How much do I need for the large reactor? Yeah, I definitely can. Okay, I'll sell the gold. I'm not going to sell the silicon. I will sell 16 water, though. Have we got enough for... Yes, we do. For this crew person. Yes! Let's go ahead and get a new crew person. Filling out the crew quite a lot. We have now got... Gloria. Welcome aboard, Gloria. Sure, you can go ahead and join engineering as well, please. At this point, I could turn on your previous crew, but that would be really bad of me, I feel. There's no way of, no excuse for that kind of behavior. No. We're not going to turn on them. We're just going to peacefully mine alongside them and hopefully end up with enough awesome stuff that we can then go ahead and build all the things that we want. Okay, we have created a large belly for the ship where we can store its reactor. I think that's particularly thematic. We've got an asteroid belt on the way as well, and we're building up a little bit of extra heat dissipation just for those times when we start just unleashing all of the death, because we have now got a couple of places which are capable of doing so. Right, so the next thing we really want is going to be the large reactor, and that's really gonna only has one place it can sit, and that has to be right there. Once that's built, though, we're going to pull down a couple of the other reactors, certainly these 2, and replace them with CPU arrays, which will pretty much fix our computing and power issues for, well, the foreseeable future, honestly. Ship detector on long-range scanners, that is fine. Can we not start on this? It needs 150. Oh, drat down a blast. It does, doesn't it? How much does a small reactor need? Yeah, we're going to need a fair old bit then more metal. Thankfully, we are in an asteroid field, so it shouldn't be too terribly hard for us to get what we need, since metal is incredibly common. So mine through there. Glorious. 130 so far. Now, what we don't want is for them to be hostile. Oh, thank goodness, because I'm not sure how it would affect our construction if we've just started constructing something and then a hostile ship shoots it. Would we lose all of the invested resources? I don't think we do, but I wouldn't want to for science it just yet. Let's try and grab that. There we go. I think we are actually starting to work on our constructions now. Fantastic. We should have that done fairly soon. Let's grab that silicon as well. I am being a little bit fast and loose with the asteroids right now, though, and I know that's a bit silly of me, unfortunately. But we should be okay, I think. Wow, they're taking a bit of a beating over there. Honestly, we could probably finish them off without too much trouble. I'm really liking the design of this particular ship, though. The Albion has really come together. CPU panel was destroyed. That is not a problem for us, realistically speaking. That shouldn't be an issue at all. This actually really looks like a warship. This genuinely looks like a warship. Maybe it was designed from, well, I mean, it literally was designed from an escape pod, but it has evolved into a warship. It has grown up rather well, I must say. Let's get all of this metal. We've got loads now, so even once that's finished, we're going to have still quite a lot left over besides. We definitely want to get to another asteroid field, though. I'm a little bit sad about these, though. I'm thinking maybe it would be better if all of this was replaced and we just had large engines out there. I really think, large engines, actually. If we could get large engines out there, that would look glorious, in my opinion. We're up to 6 defense. We need just one more point to get armor repairing. And then we can switch back to engineering for the time being. We have lost this engine for now, and that is due to CPU losses, but shouldn't be too bad. As soon as we get this reactor finished up, we should be good to go. Now, where is this asteroid field? Because I am hungry. We need more stuff. There we go. Look at that. Oh, my lord. Right. Okay. First and foremost, remove all of these. Just get rid of them. We don't want them, don't need them. What we need is CPU instead. Now, we are fairly low on metal, the lowest we've been in a very long time. So let's try and get all of that back. We have got some of our heat vents shut down right now because of the lost CPU. Which is a bit of a problem, but it's not terribly bad, I suppose. We do not need 79 silicon. The fact that we've got 79 silicon tells me that we've not tried to build enough. Frankly, we need to get on that right away. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and build 2 CPU arrays. So one there, and that will do us very well for quite a while, I would say. And we've got enough now to build the armor repairer. So let's go ahead, unlock that, and then switch back to engineering. We're going to need 6 in engineering to unlock the large engines. It's going to be a fair ways away, to be perfectly honest. It's going to take us a little time to get there, but it shouldn't be too terribly bad. Let's dig through you. Now, one problem with the position of our reactor right now is it has kind of taken pride of place, and I'm not really sure how we're going to build around it, especially if the plan is ultimately to place large engines on the sides, because that does necessitate quite a lot of room. Not too certain how we're going to improve this situation, but at the very least we can turn everything on now. Nothing should be turned off. You've got so much power and CPU. In fact, we can also get rid of this and replace it with life support if we would like to, and I kind of would. Right, so with that done, given that we're probably going to be losing... Well, to be honest, I would rather take this entire section off and rebuild it than lose this little bit of room here. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and build this out just a little bit on this side. There and there. And of course remove these. I wish there was a way you could simply overwrite them, but there isn't as far as I'm aware. And down here we'll continue to expand, but for the time being, let's go ahead and use the hull braces in these locations just to add a little bit of extra structure. And we also want to start adding in doors, so door there, door there. There we go. That shouldn't take too long to get sorted. Now, are you going to be hostile? You're not currently hostile, and you've got a reasonable amount of firepower. Actually, you've got a huge shield. Wow. Okay, I'm actually in awe of this design. I like it. It's not all squished down like mine. It's nice and long, and there's loads of room for people to walk around. I am jelly. I will confess, quite jelly. There's nothing really that I want here. I can sell a little bit of water. That's fine, but other than that, not much to do. Let's see. Clearly, I need to hook these up. In fact, let's make sure that the small reactor is being taken down. I want the plasma turrets turned on as well, please. So there we go. And now 4 also needs these plasma turrets added. I wouldn't mind trying my luck. It's possibly a silly thing to do, but as far as I can see, they've only got 4 weapons, so sure, threaten. Our threat failed. Very well. Begin the attack. Annihilate their shield. We should be able to dig through this fairly quickly. Ah, these are rocket pods. I see, I see. I may have made a mistake. Okay, so what I would like to do then... Don't remove the small reactor. Don't worry about any of the construction stuff. Just worry about keeping things going. And for the time being, Helwig, you're joining the engineer corps. Wanda, you can stay doing what you're doing. We should be able to dig through their shields. Yeah, we're really cutting through this. It's not going to be long before we're doing massive amounts of damage to their weapon systems. There we go. That one's next. Just take it out if you could, please. Take out their engineer if you can. You haven't managed to, but that's okay. I forgive you. If you could kill their engineer, though, that would be grand. And now this engineer, if you would be so kind. Now this engineer, since they're so silly to come out there and try and fix things. There we go. All sorts of engineers dead. Now work on this one. How are we doing? Have we lost anything? I don't believe we have. Let's work on the weapon system over there. Shouldn't take us too much time. Now this one. Perfect. Asteroid field detected ahead. That's a little bit worrying. We should be able to break through their missile systems fairly quickly. And now they've got no one left who can help to repair anything. We should be able to just fix everything on our ship. Okay, so what I would like to do, you've got life support everywhere. How annoying. Kill the life support then, I guess. Just wail on that and then break the room that it's in. Though honestly, we're going to destroy the ship long before that. There we go. Okay, well, clear enough. Our ship is amazing. We can't reach the metal. How annoying is that, though? Oh, well. We did fairly well, I feel, considering that ship was a very, very well-designed ship. Or it looked it to me. But we've just got a lot more firepower. And as long as we have our people focus on repairs, then we can more or less do whatever we want. We've got way too much damage output for their defenses to well, we can just focus on the engineers at the end of things and just kill them. If we kill the engineers while they're outside, or while they're inside even, in fact, it's a little bit easier when you're damaging floors to keep them focused in one spot. But once the engineers are gone, you can just pick off the weapons without too much trouble. But that's definitely one thing that I've noticed now, that thanks to the increased durability of pretty much every system, there is no point in trying to wear down systems unless you've got overwhelming firepower. Because you will not break it faster than they can repair it. And that is a little bit frustrating, but, you know, it does lead to different types of tactics in combat, and that's kind of fun. Alright, there we go. Let's get rid of all of these. There we are. Perfect. Right, at this point, I'm happy to remove this now. There we go. We'll get rid of that. In fact, we don't need the CPU there. We'll get rid of that little one as well. And we'll place something else there. Perhaps we will have another mining laser, maybe? That would be quite useful. I'll pop down 2 more mining lasers. Yeah, I think I would be very happy with that. There we go. And we can also get back to fleshing out the hull back here. So around like that. There we go. And then we just need to remove these as well. Okay, I'm actually fairly happy with what we've managed to do in this episode. We've got a much expanded capability of mining now. Ooh, they're powering up their weapons. They've only got one though. Why on earth would they do something like that? I mean, it's an interesting looking ship, but there's no way at all that they could possibly hope to fight us, realistically speaking. But okay, we'll wipe out their plasma straight away, and then I guess we'll just break the first thing that comes to mind. Like, well, there's no point in going for the airlocks, honestly. They've got way too many. Let's break stuff back here. Just wail on this tile until it breaks, then wail on a tile over there until it breaks. Let's just start venting the rooms if we can, and then break a tile in there as well. And very quickly people will start dying. It would be good to take out the life support systems if we can as well, and just let people suffocate inside the ship. That will honestly be a very, very handy way of dealing with this. There we go. People are just dying everywhere. Only the ones outside are actually able to do any work anyway, but there's not much hope for them. The ship is void of oxygen right now. Yeah, pretty much everyone is dead. And the target ship is breaking apart. Let's shut all of that down. I can't reach the materials anyway. That is definitely frustrating. Oops, my weapon system's still firing. Let's kill those. Okay, so I think we've definitely proven that this ship design is effective. It is completely raffle stomping pretty much anything we're fighting right now. And I can only assume that it will continue to do so for as long as we fight things. So I think it's time that we really do expand this ship a lot more. And as I've mentioned, the first thing to do that will be building out the wing sections such that we can have large engines on the sides instead of the medium engines. And that's going to give us so much more thrust that we'll be able to expand the ship quite a lot before we need to worry about not being able to jump again. Now, I know that there are new large ship designs in the game, and so I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to get to seeing some of those in the next episode or two. But for now, I think we've probably seen the worst that this ship bracket has to offer us, so I'm fairly happy to go ahead and just expand the ship out of this ship bracket at this point. I think we've gone from being way underpowered in the last episode to ridiculously overpowered at this point. We've also got many new crew members. We've got Gloria, Raman, Sylvia, and Wanda, who all need names. So you know what to do. You just pop your name suggestion down in the comments below this video, and if your name gets picked by Chaotically, then you may see yourself, or whatever name you decide sounds awesome enough, in the next episode. But that's going to be it from me. I hope you've enjoyed, and will be joining me again for the next episode. But until then, and as always, take care, everyone.